On October 15, 1944, the frozen seas of northeast Greenland groaned as steel met ice. The U.S. Coast Guard icebreaker USCGC Eastwind advanced slowly through a white, endless wilderness, her hull forcing a narrow path where none should exist. Suddenly, the ship's radar operator noticed something unusual. A shadow appeared on the screen, trawler-shaped, motionless, trapped deep within the pack ice. At first glance, it looked abandoned, another victim of the Arctic. But one detail did not fit. A radio antenna still stood upright, alive with transmissions. A ship that looked dead was still speaking. For months, Allied sailors had been dying across the North Atlantic. Often, it was not enemy fire that sealed their fate, but information. In this war, whether it was a weapon, a single accurate forecast could guide a German U-boat directly into an Allied convoy or allow it to disappear before detection. Control the weather data, and you controlled the sea lanes. To understand what Eastwind had found, the story must rewind 11 days. On October 4, 1944, a landing party from Eastwind went ashore on Little Koldewey Island. The men expected little more than empty rock and snow. Instead, half buried beneath drifts, they discovered a small wooden hut. Inside, they found a fully operational German weather station. Precision instruments filled the cramped space. Charts and coded schedules lay neatly arranged. Logbooks recorded pressure systems, wind direction, and temperature, line by line. It was quiet, methodical work, yet its consequences were deadly. These calculations helped decide which ships would sail safely and which would be hunted. The station's crew, 12 German servicemen, were taken into custody without resistance. Their documents told a larger story. Somewhere nearby was a supply ship supporting the operation. On October 15th, Eastwind closed in on the radar contact. Warning shots cracked across the ice. Boarding lines were thrown. When Coast Guardsmen climbed onto the silent vessel, the truth became unmistakable. This was not a fishing trawler. It was the Externstein, a German weather ship designed to operate covertly in Arctic waters. From this frozen position, it had been feeding the Kriegsmarine vital meteorological data, guiding submarines toward their prey. 17 German crew members were captured. With their arrest, another hidden element of Germany's Arctic intelligence network collapsed. No battle had been fought, yet the strategic impact was immense. Decades later, the story gained one final chapter. In 1977, along the remote coast of Martin Bay in Labrador, a scientist stumbled upon rusting metal canisters scattered among the rocks. They belonged to Weather Station Kurt, a German automated installation secretly placed on North American soil in October 1943. It had transmitted weather data across the Atlantic for months before falling silent, unnoticed and forgotten for more than 30 years. There were no parades for these victories, no famous photographs or celebrated heroes, only ice, silence, and abandoned instruments. Yet the lesson endured. In modern war, the deadliest weapons are not always guns or bombs. Sometimes they are numbers carried on the wind.